Whoop-de-woo. Hi, all of you. Hey, you. Just gonna clear this energy before I. Want to take a couple deep breaths. Close your eyes if you're not driving or using some kind of machinery or something of that nature. And just take a couple few deep breaths with me. Let it all go. I didn't realize I was going to really do a meditation, but it may end up just being something of that nature. I never know when it's fun. And it took me, as per usual, forever to get my stream going and my camera in the right place. So hopefully it's okay for the moment. I'll tune and bowl here. I have music in the background. Pick up on it or not. Sometimes once I start talking, it cancels out the background sound. How's everybody doing? Mm-hmm. Interesting energies. Um, everything's energy, right? So the mixtures that are coming out. Okay, there's gonna be a deepy one. So this is like if you are already in, know what dark night of the soul is, and that's why it's divine feminine, divine masculine, DFDM. You know what that is? See the initials. And if you were guided and gravitated here, then there will be something for you. Who knows what in this, transmission. So take it as it resonates and leave the rest. And that's all I can suggest. That works best. So, yeah. What if you for time is on my side. Yes, it is. Portal. Oh, and we just had Lionsgate. Yesterday was 8/8. Just a little, if you like, to look up sacred knowledge, the sacred, the way that plants and we remain in harmony with Mother Nature and the Earth and Father Universe and Mother Earth, I think I said, and Father Sky and our baby rainbow children and all the rest of the right vibrations as we go, right? Called, and as we're called, right, things will start to shift. And well, we've all already been going through crazy shifts, so everybody's aware something is going on, right? But none of us know all of nothing or anything. We just all have little bits and pieces of, right, mini info. Soul gifts and training. It's time to step up. So it's like let go and step through the portal. Like I said in the Bible, right? You can't take it with you when you go, right? Now you know. It gets weird. It gets weird. Some of these cards are flip flop. I don't ever read these reverse. These are starseed cards. Oh, one more. Oh. You're not alone. Isolation, physical connection, community. Definitely not alone. I feel alone a lot of the time. Big picture thinking. Ow, my leg just came out. But that's what's false. Spirit's like, you better. My leg get out. A Pallades energy, visionary, inspired ideas. Right, so yeah, very right. Getting and then creating with it and having all different, colorful ideas of all different natures. Yeah, they can all bubble and blend together. I guess like a Picasso or a Monet, pixels starting to be able to see into even another like I just pulled for the portal. Wait, it's not yet time. Things are being woven, right? And as I was just and actually I just had a vision too before this of like the silk roads and the silk threads and just kind of pausing where pause is necessary. Not like you're bad. And I mean, and it could be that too. Sometimes we need to get stopped in our tracks, right? Karmic relationships, Orion energy, polarity, soul growth. I'm getting hot as I'm saying it. Conflict. How's it? Magnetism and electricity. And see, this is like two different, right? One's like flat, and the other one's coming in like kind of. This is a very good example of some of the energy that's coming in. And the Schumann resonance is very high, which makes, and like the moon is like wobbling, and we're getting slammed with corona mass ejections, which is solar flares. The blue flame, spontaneous awakening, activation, integration time. And earlier with the shamanic healing cards, that kept coming up to integration. Water your garden, nourishment, body care, tenderness, rest. And now there's a lot of hyperactivity, right? Think that when we get nervous, we can jump. So it's like just calming that energy, and I'm dealing with feeling it, and then also saying calm that energy after, you know, we're all kind of getting poked and poking each other and pouring salt and opening wounds. And but at the same time, I mean, I don't, a lot of us are just holding space, and then we allow, and then it's like, so again, well, lots of different things, so many different things going on here. But then we're also that part where our wounds are getting open, and we're like, hey, hey. Happens both ways, just like breathing, right? Of course, you could go both ways. Breath, energy never lies. 10 minutes and 44 seconds in is for saying that. Breath of the cosmos. My will to thy will. Micromanaging the universe. So, in this now and present moment, my will to thy will is just to have clarity and peace and the ability to remember to breathe, and you're not alone, and just keep swimming. Well, there's a face I'm happy to see walking presently in front of me. Child of the cosmos. One of those presently walking outside. Well, we all are. No need to run and hide. The intelligence of the universe lies within you. Right? Like a cup. A you. Wait, this way. Chicky. I can't do it. Wait. I'm gonna get that. I'm not good with the mirror thing. I'm so awful. You guys got me on that every time. I'm like, wait, it's that way. Nope, it's the other way. Whatever. Think you're so clever. So we all got our blind spots. Double mission, right? That's such a cool card too. Lightworker, starseed, serve the world by being you. Trust the timing. Divine timing is in order and at work and at play. Trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. Yo, that's so important. I keep talking about time this morning too. And even like, you know, my daughter, and I say this a lot, and I have to catch myself too. It's like, I don't have enough time. Or people say, right, trying to KILL, kill time, rant, cancel, right? It's like, that's an entity. So careful the words you say, right? We don't want to, it's like, wait, we have all the time in the world. We have to be in our now. What time is it? Now and present moment. Weight of the world. Boundaries. Let it go. Let it go. Yes, you can. Unifying perspectives. I like that dude too. Quite a lot. I always want to call him Miles Davis, but it's not Miles Davis. I mess his name up back and forth. I love you. As you know, like I don't know if he's a little Capricorn or I have to find out. I'm not sure. I'd love to like, yeah. I love when we connect. I don't like to say like too much about like other people's channels because I don't know how they feel about that, you know. It's always like and share. So yeah, if you're into any like a little more deeper and like on the English side of things, I hope I'm saying the proper term. Don't shoot me if I'm not. But his little accent. So anyway, his channel is Unifying Perspectives. And he's super cool. When I catch him and connect on his streams, I'm super grateful. Always super grateful anyhow, but like yeah, cool shout out. All right. So let it go. Always have to over explain. 5:05 p.m. presently. It's not yours to carry. So yeah, you know, blue flame again. And here, okay. Whale. You're able to see this. It's so tricky. Yeah. Whale and Orca elders. And there has been a lot of diamonds. Diamonds. Um, Dolphin lingo and yeah, that the deep oceanic vibrations under the sea. Share your song, frequency of sound, diving right into self. The golden children, inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. And that's totally where everything is. We have to wake up our inner child. It's like, hey, wake up, remember? Hey. That's our Christ, little Christ baby. It'll be at first it's the little devil running around, right? And as we get older, right, it's like we get a little more mature. So same thing, really, right? Ain't no different. You know, and our imagination is our identity, right? And our inner child needs to know it's safe. So it's like, hey, come home. Right? We're collecting all those fragments of ourselves. It's like, hey, and then if something's not ours, right? Let it go, let it go. But sometimes there's something we need to see just so we have awareness or so we can acknowledge it, right? And then again, let it go, let it go. And try to hold on, right? And be like, that's what it's so many, we're all so many different things. So we don't want to hold anything into Star Brothers is peeking out. Star Brothers. I love you guys. Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, and trust. And even when it's scary, it's like when you close your eyes, right? It's like you can feel this safety if you can get yourself there, right? Once we get past the feelings and the thoughts that right spurt out of us, etc., right? Which again are our atoms and our eves, right? Our feelings and our thoughts, right? Our thoughts. And we all have them, right? Or like our scary thought, the negative, that's like the demiurge, or the right, and there's a negative, or yeah, there's a negative, positive and negative, and then there's the upside down, the reflection on the reverse side, right? Like my forefathers, positive, negative, and then, but birthed from, right, the called the divine triple dark mother goddess, right? The void, which is not masculine or feminine really necessarily. It's like what the big void. So it's like there's so like when I go there, it's like it's like the once we start moving, it's traveling thunder. So and the movement is and that's before light. So that's pretty deep. I've been able to be talking about that a lot lately. So that's like really important in the grand scheme of things, right? In the macro and in the micro and self, because it's very important knowledge of thyself to know where one originates from, right? And so we're not wandering and lost and feeling alone, like we don't know how to find our way. Water your garden, water your garden. Everything's wawa, mama wawa. And karmic relationships and all, everything teaches us, right? Good, bad, ugly. There's a lot of, you know, not so nice stuff goings on, you know, but when people are put also in survival mode or in, right, again, PTSD from being in, right, war and seeing having to go through so many different, well, right, very negative experiences, which is all of us in different manners. That's real important. Like we were just reading to one of the cards, right? To really honor your energy and care for yourself and rest. We heal when we rest, right? Silk threads, again, we mend when we're in a restful state, rest in peace. You know, we're really not supposed to wake one another up, period. If one is sleeping, they're sleeping for a reason, right? The internal body needs to mend, or the mind needs to go into different brain waves in order to replenish and rejuvenate and restore itself. So when we're constantly being woken, way different than, right, the awakening that's occurring, right, allowing things to grow naturally into their own true form. And sometimes we give a little nudge and encouragement and etc., but we're not gonna rape it or pull it out of its natural environment, or if it's now been taken, we're not gonna come back and be like, that's our, and it's like great because we have more respect for life and the consciousness of another sentient being, right? There's an awareness that we don't own anything. So we let, it's like we were able to have things for a certain amount of time and share time and space, or, right, experience certain things. But the more we, right, hold on to something, right, my stick, this is like my Moses stick. But the more we hold on to something, it's going to feel suffocated. And us mothers can definitely be a little suffocating. We're like, hey, watch out. We get, yikes, we're not gonna shit over. We get nervous. So we're a little more apt to yell, scream, and, right, like, come after you and, are you sure? Yeah, blah blah blah, right? Embarrass, yeah. Right. And I've been on both sides of that, right? So it's important to experience both sides. And also we grow through pain, right? So we don't want to hurt each other on purpose and, like, bully and laugh, and, like, there's a difference, but and also that has its importance too, right? Because no matter what, it's like whatever I've gone through, I can look back at and be like, right, that made me wiser or stronger eventually. It may not be awesome when I'm going through it, right? The feelings and the what have you, but somebody popped on and popped off. Hi and ciao, and hope you come back. I'll talk for now. Surrender to the sweetness and star bathing. Cool. And I'm so grateful for the energy anytime anybody pops, whether we're pops, whether it's, again, good, bad, scary, we're all kind of like, and then, or wait a second, activated earth. This is like the major activation, Lionsgate. This is a big one, really. And this happens, I know, every year, right, Lionsgate, but this is, right, 2021, 5, fifth element, ether. Don't forget about wood and metal, too. Crystals, stone, earth. Well, earth, real earthly energy, but and then the metals really at a higher, the metals at a periodic table, etc. Right, more outer space, etheric, and asteroids and meteors and etc. And that's what, right, makes up the bodies of the stars. And then, right, that's made and created way before, right? Men from Venus. How'd that come out of my mouth? Women are from Venus and men are from Mars, right? And I think we must have mixed with Palladian and a whole bunch of other star systems to become human, right? Hues, rainbow beings of this now activated Earth. It was like a big eggshell, right? And power places, ley lines, trust where you're led. Forge, don't follow. Because you gotta know, right? You gotta know your place. You gotta know your place, meaning you gotta be able to, it's like, whoa, it's like if we're all swimming in the water, obviously I feel where my space is in the water compared to your space, right? So really, it's like go in terms of right energy is like kind of like that feeling your way in the water, and then becoming a little more in sync with right unseen vibrations, right? So which we all are. It's just tuning in, right? Radio frequencies, like Tesla said. You don't understand the secrets of the universe. Think in terms of sound, frequency, and vibration. That's probably not that into proper order. Cosmic ancestor, seed the light by staying grounded. So again, even though it's like somebody might be rushing us or asking us to do 20 million things, which then is when I get aggravated after I'm already like energetically exhausted and spiritually warped the void. Stop. Embrace the winter, the great cosmic womb. The courageous peony, multifaceted, unique nature. Let yourself be seen. Pretty cards. These are the most beautiful. They're so not most beautiful, but they're one of the most beautiful decks I own. Art-wise, I love the art. I love art. Our Father, who art, art. King Arthur, and E, right? If you the word Earth, EARTH, right? If you put the E, the elements in a parenthesis, and then we have Arth, and then you are. That's like from before Babylonian, yeah, Sumerian, and I have a lot of those like printed out where it's yeah, like your and so Sumer, yeah, um, which is before Egypt, yeah, and ancient Egypt also different than um, northern Egypt and southern Egypt, or how do you say it? So I get things like mixed up sometimes because so much information comes in. So I can offend people sometimes or beings because sometimes I say the wrong word or maybe it's not wrong. It's just kind of mixing, right? So it's right, chaos. It's confusing to I can't see it clearly until well, it depends. Either until I just keep swimming or until someone else clarifies, is able to clarify where I'm, hiccuping or stumbling down the hill because I don't have quite the proper, right, frequency, vibration, information. Excuse me, but I also try to not get too caught up on that. So I also like apologize, always take what resonates and leave the rest. 519, ancestral blood cleaning number. Because a lot of the time the hiccups are meant to, right, spirit does that in order to cause disruption, literally. So that we're like, hey, because otherwise we just keep thinking everything's like a-okay and we just don't worry because right, if the wheel's not broken, we don't fix it. Or if it ain't necessary to right, get up and move, a lot of time people don't. Unless right, you have to have a purpose and a passion and love and the will to live, which you do if you're here in any kind of right part where you're able to connect here and just right, then you fucking it's like damn good job, boy. What is that movie? I forget. Anyway, I was like you fought to be who you are, so claiming the whole face was itching. Claiming who you are, as far as just knowing that it's like you're in your Vamana, your avatar. So it's like, right, hey, move over. Anybody else is trying to get up in there. And then it's like, bubble. Bubble. Because again, we don't mind, right, sharing a meal and sharing space with other family, friends, loved ones, having a baby. But eventually baby gets big, baby gets heavy, and it's like, oh my goodness, right? Do we not like the baby? No, we love baby before we even meet baby, but we're like, we can't wait for baby to get out. Right? So a lot of too, I think too, I just want to, in like say tarot land and etc. and the spiritual, right, higher mind community that's aware, right? Because it's not even, please don't think I'm saying better, higher than, in an overseeing, like dominant way, just a different vibration, right? We're just using the different, like, and really it's the subconscious and like way unconscious of like, so it's like a lot of dream state. We come from like uranium and like Neptunian and plutonium, so it's quite like, right? Yeah, a lot of radio frequency, right? Like nanu nanu, literally. Digital and radio and sound and vibration, right? So, and that's what we all are, is magnetic, vibrating, electronic, musical beings of light that have traveled very far from many distant stars. So cool how spirit does that shit. It's like, that ain't even me. I will never claim that those words as like, oh, I thunk that up. That's my mine, like a seagull. Certain things like, right, when we put that, like when we're in that frame of mind, right? Who framed Roger Rabbit? Roger that. Copycat. Scat cat. Swiper, no swiping. um, so yeah, when yeah, coming from the stars, yeah, which literally, and then it's like being poured into, right, a physical vessel, that the blood starts to grow, the organs start to, right, whatever, have different ways. We've all arrived or been born into, right, this life, which is a gift. So if we first take one hot toddy second to be grateful for that in itself, whether it's been shitty. Now we have something good to look forward to, right? Because you have to experience the opposite. 33 minutes, 33 seconds, I said up. So if you haven't experienced it yet, you just have to clear some stuff out. And again, going into like alcoholic behavior, like I haven't drank in years. Once in a very blue moon, well, I have a beer. I mean, I can count on one hand the less than 5 beers I've had in, 5 years or whatever. It's like, yeah, so I don't, and anytime I do, it's like, yeah. So I have, like, my body completely rejects it now. Like I've said, it's like, right, that's one of the hardest demons I've ever had to beat. However, I will never say, right? It's not like all of a sudden I can't get yanked by the hair and pulled back into that fucking ring. We gotta be very careful because it's always a slippery slope. Once our ego starts to get like, and we're like, oh, we're good. There's a difference between having awareness, and again, I'm gonna probably poke a lot of people here, because even in the community of like Alcoholics Anonymous or Al-Anon, or they have like CA. I believe they have like, seriously, for like you sex addicts and what have you. There's sexual, I don't know what it's called, but right, like SA. Because listen, it's like you're, and that shit's awesome. Let me just say too, let's, okay, because I was gonna talk about that in the other video. It's like a difference between like sex and sexuality and right, say bestiality and being still like wild animal or um playful. I mean, there's so many different right vibrations that come, some that are right like dirty and masochistic or really, you know, but any of that is due to again either not having the proper information and guidance and time and space to allow a being to RIP. You keep throwing so much static and electricity all over that's right false. You know, there's a difference when we're like, you know, we tell it because I'm sure we all tell our children little things here and there. You know, if you don't go to, if you don't get to bed soon. See, I never really did that. I would like, I always love Halloween and I always had like a shit ton of masks and Halloween stuff. So I'd like go down in the basement and do laundry or, you know, when I was alcoholic, take a shot. But but sometimes I would that was a long ass time ago though, let me just say. Let me just reiterate. Which doesn't make me any better or worse, but I'm just to clarify, like, because there's a lot of like I'm aware accusations and stuff and other beings doing things and then they try to like cash that karma out on us and throw whatever they're all doing and make it look like they're us and we're them, or we'll set it up to make it, you know, look like we've done certain things to, you know, defamate and desecrate or whatever you want to call it, our character. It's like, first of all, it's like, if you got any questions, truthfully, like, it's like, all you got to do is come to the source and ask me. Because, you know, most likely the story you have is like maybe partially true, but it's like I made a example on another video, you know, like I used to play butts up all the time, which was a ball, you throw the tennis ball, like if I don't remember the rules, but if you right lost, if you right fucked up and did what I admit didn't I can't remember. All I know is my butt used to get lit up and you'd have to stand with your hands against the wall and we'd the fucking, you know, our kids, our friends, big brothers and baseball players and all that would fucking wing hum fucking tennis balls at our butt like a freaking bullseye. So my butt, I used to like walk away like with a whole extra butt cheek, like a like oh. So can that get turned into a dirty story? Yeah, sure. As we get older, but like right, most of the time, a lot of the stories that get told throughout time and space, right? First of all, we don't always want them to be the same, and sometimes they're funny, sometimes we make them scary, sometimes we change the characters' names, right? Like if we have kids and they're like, tell us a story, or we're like, tell us a story. I loved the ones most where like my grandmother or whoever would make one up. But then I also love all the fairy tales and everything too, right? This is the story of my life. So when people say, right, say fairy tales or what have you aren't real, well, are they any more fake than the media I see on the news every day that proclaims, right, whether it's weather or news, a lot of it's just pre-scripted to be said by a narrator, by how many different narrators, who's writing the script. Right? That's like big pharma, right? Scripting pre-scripted narratives and using vibrations and outside. It's like foghorn, leghorn. So yeah. um, oh, three little cuties out, walking outside. Their tie dyes in their hair. They look so cute. And it's a mom and two daughters. Little funky bunch, cuties. Colorful cuties. They're all in black and white and like tie-dye, so cool. And their hair is all colorful. I love that everybody's being so creative. And so like yeah, as I just picked up these off the floor again. So the Golden Children, Star Brothers, and Wadia Garden. Those are the ones from before, but they fell on the floor. Oh, and this is my last one. And I can't says no more. Sativa Fairy. It's like Rastafari. Yeah, that's my medicine. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know about anybody else. Hi. 40 minutes and 44 seconds in. Thanks for coming. Yeah. That's like food, medicine. Oh no, we got a bunch of malachite. Everything gonna be alright. And malachite, right? Malachite is a stone, but if you think, all right, malachite, it's known as like, right, like our hooded something. Yeah. Anywho, my battery's on its low. It's getting a little. I can't remember that song. Low, low, get low. I got like meditation music on in the background. Get low, get low. To the windows, oh Lord, to the walls. Oh brother, till sweat drop down these balls. All these females crawl. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Hope and worship and oh, keep. Pew, pew. You spirit. We go up and down, we go through it all. No matter how dirty or clean or big or how small. So I was like, take what resonates and leave the rest. If you start to become offended, it's okay. I won't be offended if you want to just keep swimming for a bit. Like, because sometimes I don't even believe the shit that comes out of my mouth. Literally. But I've gotten used to it again, right? To be unapologetic, so to speak, about you know, what I get given to pass along. Lisa Cola. Everything happens in its proper time. And number 4, foundation. And charoite or carolite, number 50. Smoky quartz celestial, 28. So, and malachite again. So malachite totally. And yeah, a lot of green. Oh, and green dragon. And the green, when the sun set and the green bloop, and green lantern and green. Oh, green with envy and jealousy. And you ever seen a cartoon Hercules? Um, Tiger's Eye, super cool. Number 9. That's great protection. Amber and Tiger's Eye. Malachite. I have a sip of my tea this whole time. Got my lemon ginger tea, and I have some maca and burdock root and agave and a little cayenne and a little itty bitty sprinkle of some thyme. And I did put actually a little bit of sea moss up in here too. So for me, that doesn't always like, I'll say turn me on. But sometimes, yeah, I'm able to add a little. Sometimes it's like I'm so sensitive to certain things, so it can be that can be a little offensive for me. But then sometimes it's great and fun. It's like sometimes my body needs it, but sometimes, yeah, I'm good with just the burdock root, not the. And I hate to say it, but stuff from right Dead Man's Sea. So sometimes too much of that, it's like the right watery cemetery. So what's wonderful and absolutely great, and it depends again. This is why it's really important to know what root race you are, what you come from, what your body is made of. Because we all need different things, but also be wary of others telling you exactly what you need, right? Be wary of those bearing gifts. If someone, right, salesmen, advertisers, false flags, um, and then there's a lot of different, right, right, a little more way in depth, way more creepy, sneaky, yeah, stuff that's going on that covers for the veil, but also, right, devil's advocate, sometimes we got to look at why. So sometimes when a party or something is acting out, or a person, place, or thing, why? What's been going on that they're not being maybe heard, that we need to take a look at before we just keep listening to what someone else is, right, said or wrote or put down, or right, it's like I just said, sometimes the sea moss is fine, and sometimes I'm like Daddy Warbucks, why do I smell wet dog? Ribbit. Gesundheit. Bless you. Why do we say that when we sneeze? Hishua. Hachu. Bring that piece back in. Okay, our heart stops for a hot second when we sneeze. And like they say, like a piece of your soul. So that's why we say bless you. So it goes back in. Same as like the thoughts and the feelings that we allow to whoop. What just came out? I think that was bumblebee, bumblebee tuna, bumblebee Jasper. Hold on. And it's hiding. It hid in my candle making box that I have, like in the fucking cracks of the box. I have it like, what's up, Bumblebee Jasper? I like jumped out of the deck that I wasn't even touching to make an appearance, and jumped and hid in the box. What does that mean? Bumblebee tuna. Oh, I still haven't read that book or watched that movie. I don't know what the hell that was all about, right? What was that? Okay, any there, where that? I love this one too. And Halite and Quattro and Selenite. Mm. Can you dig it? Don't be digging it. If they come to you naturally, though, right? Then they're yours, or yours to witness or see, and there might be some kind of message and transmission per that energy. Hala, halite 41, selenite, moon magic. Not moon magic, like in a like don't get me twisted with motherfuckers. Like I just moon's like my baby, like moon, like beauty. Selenite's like Selena to me, and actually I have selenite right here. It's actually very super special to me. Reminds me of my daughter. So Europa, like the moon. That's why I said moon magic. It's like just, that's super magical to me, my daughter. So I don't take and use energy for my own selfish stuff. I didn't even know, like, so that's why like I had to kind of clarify when I said that, because like I hear that in terms in like other videos, it's make my heart, and it's like, whoa. All right, quantum quattro. There's Carlos at Revan. Number 12. Vroom, vroom, vroom. Can you hear that shit? And it was just 15 minutes and 40 seconds in, and it's 5:40. I just switched to 41, and now it's 51 in the car revving. So 540, which is also 9, 540. Anybody that means anything? 51, 5101. Anywhere but here. Okay, so actually, speaking of moon, let's pull a moon card. And then I'm going to bumpity bump out of here. But I appreciate so much. Thank you for coming, and please hit the likey like and the subscribe and the belly bell, and please share as well. I appreciate. The only way we're gonna keep the movement moving, because otherwise there's like lots of big. They try to put lots of dams and blocks and what have you. Again, it's just like right how they say Big Brother. Big brothers can always be like ah ha 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 ha, right, to little sisters or ever. Yeah. And then some can really not be nice, right? I don't know. Unless those are just fairy tales too. Those might just be part of like, the movies we see on the silver screen. I still have yet to watch that movie Truman Show again. Like I said, I think I'm avoiding that in a grand manner way, because I'm always like, watching, blah, 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 water's always recording, blah, blah, blah. As it's time to take action, new moon in Aries. Actually, I think it was like 8 Lions Gate, and I think the new moon is also in Leo, right? Along with we're in Leo, if I'm not mistaken, but I could totally be again. So and also too, right? It's funny because like you listen to different astrologers, and what have you, and historical, right? Like lots of different timelines, because the timeline. Look up the metaphysical meaning of time. Right? It's not what we think and perceive it to be. It's a measure between distance to right, time to right, attracting memory. So or to so the operation of the scales and the cycles of time. What I read today in the Bhagavad Gita, baby, in the Bhagavad. I don't want to say it wrong. Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita. I love this book. So grateful. I was given it as a gift. So graphic smoky quartz, number 49. Take time to breathe out. Way past the ribs and the belly, and let it like swoop up past the sacral chakra and keep cleansing. And when you breathe in, let it come up from behind you, like around you, like, and right over and Breathe in and let it come up around you, right? Like you are my sunshine. And then let it come up over your head, forward, and then down past the belly of the beast and out. And your energy may go lower. The more times you keep doing that, right, you'll feel at first it starts at the belly and then it goes down to the sacral and then it may go drop down past your knees, right? Just like if you're walking out into the water. So a time for healing, balsamic moon. So different little, like earlier I was listening to Tool, right? Tools that we have in our toolbox. And lots of different, again, so-called negative experiences that we've had. Look at the bigger picture. So we can see the bigger picture. Uh, adjustments are required. It's time to release negativity. A time to give rather than take. So that's important, right? In order to give, we have to give in order to receive, right? So again, to take that breath out, breathe in gratitude, let go of the attitude, yeah. Clear the mind, right? And everything will be just fine. What else? We need to clean out the emotional bodies too, because that's our dead man's seat, our saltwater body. Okay. We have our physical body, Alice in Wonderland, flappy, flappy, flappy. Right, that's total Neptunian. And dreams can be super fun and awesome. They can be fantastical, right? Fantasies. And then also they can be fucking nightmare. Okay. Three of Pentacles. There's a funny one in this deck because like Alice is like up on a ladder, like organizing like golden things in the pentacles in the tree with the roses on it, and like the rabbit is like reading like a map or something, and the emperor, a lot of the time the emperor is kind of goofy, right? Or like in a sense like like especially in the Queen of Hearts, that like Alice in Wonderland, she just tramples over which key. um that's like Queen of Wands, right? Paint the roses red wants to change everything instead. Instead of making change and allowing change to occur and having acceptance of, what we cannot change and the courage to change what we can, which I have a hard time, doing so all the fucking time, right? Taking that step where it's like, no, I can't, right? Here comes the sun. These are super cool cards to be able to see. A little bit dark. A little bit dark. Star. Page of Cups. Right, so it's like that's actually very kind of like the crone, the maiden, and the I think little girl, or however they, right. Also, like little girl being human and unsure as a woman, and being like, oh, like what is this? Curious and innocent as a girl. With Page of Cups are. or just like our childish nature. Right? And then also like, right, as we get a little older, more mature, maybe we're looking for a little something more than right a fish in a cup to play with, and maybe we also were that mermaid or fish one point in time, and we became human. Right, like the fish gods. Fish gods? Is he called? Sea goat, greatest of all time. 551. So yeah, and the Three Pentacles was this, like I was saying, so you could see. So it's kind of like everybody's just doing like, right, having to play pretend. Let's just all like, yeah, we all have to pacify and like pretend. Okay, everything's like, yeah, the soap opera. Everybody stage set. Everybody where they're supposed to be. Everybody doing what they need to be doing. Da da da. Let's get a little clarification on that one. Hold on a minute. As I started going into that, I was like, I became way more than at first, but not really. Um, Interesting. Just like the. Mm, well, it's okay. That's just fear, manipulation, jealousy, envy. Again, like Hercules or yeah, Little Mermaid 1 or part 2, Tangled, Sleeping Beauty, Princess and the Pea. I mean, they put her through all these tests. You know, she can't feel. Kind of like how they talk about empaths now, and then they like attack narcissists. So it's really also kind of like attacking the divine feminines and masculines, like because they don't know who they are, and bullying, and right. So, but like too, if you're a boxer or any kind of like right a physical athlete or whatever in any way, it's like right the body takes conditioning. It takes conditioning before we can do whatever it is we're trying to do physically, right? Like, hitting the bat, it's like, but you got to condition your hands in order to take that hit so you don't keep splitting your skin. And little by little, right? Or boards or whatever, right? Whatever we're practicing on. Super cool, yo. Ooh, you. Healing, new vision. Ooh, thunderbolt. Thunder. Na 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 na. Super cool. And then I'm gonna just depart after these. New vision. Yeah. Remember who you are in there. You're a visionary. You wouldn't be here if you weren't. Look at all the ideas and awesome things you've done up until this now point in time. That's the wake up call. For whom the bell tolls. And that's like a super cool sacred, if you can see that good. Sacred geometry, new vision. And it's like graceful and colorful, and it looks also kind of like he's shooting a bow and arrow, or right that him proper pronouns there. So again, about being politically correct, but vibration creates form. So a lot of the beings that people are getting mad at, like, oh, why are they getting so upset when we say whatever words? Well, if it doesn't vibrate nice with them in that moment in time, then they don't, it's like, right. So just respect that. It's like, we don't always want to be right put in a box or called a certain name or made to be a certain way or do a certain thing every single moment, every single day, because you like it, right? Because Mikey likes it. Or whoever it is wanting us to, right, say perform or show that it's like sometimes, right, back the fuck up. Or be respectful, because again, vibration creates form. Soulmate. So, a labradorite and ancestralite. Again, just, and sometimes we don't know how, if we're being rude or, and again, other times people do know and they're, really just being assholes. So yeah. Like, don't try to hand me a cake and you just said that you made it and it's like super good chocolate and like, yeah, you put like stuff that's not nice in it. You know what I mean? Like shit cake and you're trying to tell me it's chocolate. All right. But I say don't piss in my face and call it sunshine or gold. You know? Well, it is sunshine kind of. And yeah. Anyhow, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean. Jelly beans. What we got here? Oh, did I already say conditioning? I mean, I know I was talking about it, but did I? Lionsgate. Okay, so that's crazy cool. Super duper duper duper. And there's like the little sheep in the cloud. And I don't know. I might be in John too. A rope tying a sheep to his back. Huh. And the sheep almost kind of look like, give the illusion like they're clouds. But he has one foot on the ground, but there's like one little patch of grass and everything else around the grass. And that, like, where his foot is, there's grass. Everything else is kind of like a baseball field, right? Like the dirt is more dirt. So again, like, right, a lot of witchcraft, a lot of words, right, illusions. I no longer accept any of these illusions that do not serve a greater purpose for myself or any other involved, right? Because also for like, right, it's like where we've allowed things, so we've agreed to certain things, so we have experiences. So like as we, right, it's not always like you better. A lot of time it's like, wait, hold on, we're just a little tangled up when we're, so it's like, well, I have fun playing, but like I'm tired and I want to go home now. Kind of like I'm about to take a little rest now, right? So it's like uh, flowering, the rebel. Ooh, past lives, postponement, integration. Again, this is the third deck I've pulled integration today. Integrating. So it's a lot of energies coming in. Yeah. Isolation. A lot of people are upset with decisions, past lives. Hmm. So again, a lot of karma, like becoming, right, transformation, participation. Some more, it's a pretty sexual, right? For grown-up eyes only, or mature. Also, this is on it, like right there, using energy to source to participate in But sometimes, again, people are wearing masks due to the fact that they're needing to find information, right? Innocence, and they're to experience a life, and they've been here a long time, and ordinary gets boring to them. So it doesn't give a right to ever take over anybody's free will, and if you have invaded upon anyone's free will or trespassed in anyone's, fields, time, space, etc., in an inappropriate manner, and attempted to break divine or universal law, then that's just right. That's your right free will decision you made, and then that's the karma. Right? Every action has an equal or opposite reaction. So that just is what it is. So that's why it was Saturn return in Aquarius, right? This is where right the scales are being balanced and right divine justice is coming in, right, to rebalance the scales, and it's 1 hour and 11 minutes in and 11 seconds. Bam, as it just said. We are the world. So good. And this is the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine. I never know the words to that song. Anybody? Abundance. And also, let me just say, it doesn't mean go, let's get crazy. It does, but at the same time, right? The dream, the rebel, to thine own self be true. So for a long time we listen, and eventually, right, we're like, I don't want to eat that, mom. I don't like it, right? So we start to rebel. It doesn't necessarily always mean we're bad. We just start to, right, get to know thyself and, create our own identity and, right, have our own likes and dislikes, which is all part of our ego. And sometimes we like stuff and then sometimes we don't. Sometimes we feel a different way and sometimes we won't, right? Like, depends. But if we're going to be, flowering, which we are, it's like eventually, there's a Dave Matthews song. There's a typical situation in these typical times. Too many choices they have. Um, and it's like leave the big door open. Everyone will come around, right? Eventually, right? Eventually, we bang our heads enough time, right? And we hit rock bottom, and it's 6:03 p.m. As I'm saying, so right. So once we hit rock bottom, like after it's like because like as a professional alcoholic, especially way back in the day, and being around so many others, it's like growing up in that kind of family and right experiencing. See, as I'm saying that energy never lie. Experiencing that, like being thinking I would never be one, right? Like, and then having that like take over me at some point in my life where I that was very scary. It was a very, very scary time in my life. And it took me a long time to like, right, stop falling down the fucking hill on my face. And no matter how much will I had within me, right, it's like I felt like an outsider to myself. I was stuck inside. It was like trying to scrape your way out of right basement with your hands. Feeling trapped inside and not being able to get out of oneself, screaming inside of oneself. Really, it's like, oof. Patience. Breathe. And if you're feeling that way right now, like I was just expressing, you're not alone. Right? What you're experiencing it is this, yeah. I think everyone's experiencing this right about now. The mind is frying. You ever watch Futurama? Fry. Look, can't lie, make this stuff up. Guilt. Guilt is a sin. So we have to look deeper within. And right, this is where we make our say confession. You do it within self. It's like, okay, what have I done in my past? What am I still doing? We take a look. Because the definition of insanity is repeating the same thing over and over, right? Expecting a different result. But when we're unaware, we're just like, where, you know, teenagers were like, oh, we don't care. So there's a lot of very spiritual immaturity. And then a lot of us, like I speak for myself, like have different immaturity, right? Like where I haven't experienced a lot of different things that most people, right, have, and is so normal, right? Normal every day at 6:06. Where markers and like say, right, like kind of human life, like going to dances or doing, you know, vacations or I don't know, just like, you know, college, spring break. And I don't feel like, oh, I so missed out. I like got to experience like the word family on so many levels. And my phone's gonna be out of battery. So it's like the vibe, like these two cuties. Whether when everybody's getting together, even if we're messy, not whatever. Like I just saw a couple coming in. It's like the coolest, beautifullest, most right. When people are smiling, you know, and sometimes they're faking it and pretending. As they say, turn that frown upside down, right? And keep your feet on the ground. Completion. So yeah, letting go. Yeah, letting go of stress, because that's the killer, right? The reason for disease is discord. If we get too tied up within ourselves, right? Like this right here looking at me too. All tied up like the scarecrow to scare away birds. If I only had a brain. Understanding and projections. So yeah, there's a lot of that dark, whatever, black, shitty behavior going on in the spirit, in the. You already asked to cut the shit. And the word understanding means right under. So it's like great again when we're playing with stuff, but it's like, but hey, we're saying certain things are hurting us or they're doing that shit on purpose. And it's like, so, and the things that people are just doing that they don't, right? It's like, wait. Communication breakdown. And it doesn't always mean we hold somebody to something. It's like a lot of people, again, are codependent and they want somebody to make a contract with them. Can you be or can you do blah, blah, blah. It's like, whoa, everybody please take a breath. Because this is exhausting. It's like exhaustion at like, yeah, stop it. Right? You can't always get what you want, but you get what you need and the possibility of dreaming. Right? Row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Well, all right, on that note, I'm going to plug in my little phone here and allow myself to also recharge. And it's 6:09. Lots of cool numbers coming up. Going with the flow and allowing change to come as we continue to grow and go. And take breaks when you need to, because that's what we have to do when we're giving labor. Je know. And this is a whole galactic rebirth. So, mwah, mwah, mwah. Please like and subscribe. And I wish nothing but the best. Nothing, honey. And he's nuts. That's my daughter, and we all say actually for a long time. We have a fascination with nuts, but really the ones that you eat, like seeds. Anyhow, all right. Peace out. One love.